It is a scam when you don't allow everyone to operate on fair terms.
We are the Robin Hoods of sports betting. We take something back from the rich bookies and enable our customers to beat them instead.
Let's get into Frankie Edgar, Cory Sandhagen. For some reason, I always think his name's Cody, so I'm sorry if I call him Cody. But he's, for those who don't know, an up-and-comer in the division, only the one loss to Sterling in the UFC by submission, and he's coming off that very, very, I would say, very impressive performance over Moraes. Like, to be able to outstrike Marlon Moraes in the first round. Obviously, Moraes is susceptible to a knockout nowadays and susceptible to gassing. He outstruck him in that first round, and that is a very, very impressive thing to do. Edgar, second fight in the bantamweight division, coming off that win also against Pedro Munoz, split decision win. I actually do not remember. This is the weirdest thing. I was looking at Edgar's record. I do not remember that fight versus Pedro Munoz. Maybe something weird was going on in my life, and I just completely missed that fight. But I was looking at the scorecards for that because I saw a split decision. I was looking at MMA decisions, which is quite a good place to go for media scorecards. And I would say like 80% of the media had it for Munoz. Do you remember that fight and how you might have scored it?
Yeah, I had a look at it, and I do think Munoz should have probably got the decision. He was landing like decent leg kicks. It seemed to slow Edgar down. Edgar's boxing was pretty effective. He was landing shots, but I don't know what the numbers were at the end of it. But I thought personally that Munoz had done enough to win. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just one of them really, where the judges, I don't think maybe it's 5 rounds, but it was quite close. But you thought that that Pedro Munoz did the most damage during the fight, and I don't know what they really saw. Maybe they just saw like Edgar's activity.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I can't comment on it at all. I seriously cannot remember that fight. Maybe I was in the middle of a friggin' hurricane in Mexico or something like that.
It might be Mexico.
That must have been what was going on, because I cannot remember that fight. All right, so what are your thoughts on this one, mate? I guess it's an interesting fight. Like, you've got the Cory Sandhagen, you kind of get the impression that he's just going to keep getting better and better as he goes along in his career at the moment. And Frankie, like, he's just a stalwart, isn't he? Like, I don't know how he's still around. And I think it's the most impressive thing is, like, you normally see this in the heavyweight or the light heavyweight division, like someone able to like hang around and compete with the top 5, top 10 guys. But like, for a lighter weight guy, he's 39 years old. For him to still be fighting the likes of Cory Sandhagen and compete with guys like Pedro Munoz, like, that is just incredible.
Yeah, it's really impressive, like you say, and coming down as well from 155 as well, coming all the way down to 135. That's that's something that not a lot of fighters can do. I think the fight's been set up obviously to push Sandhagen on, and he looks like he could potentially be a champion and someone that the UFC are going to start promoting quite heavily, because he's got a really great style to watch. He's very fluid. He switches stances. He's got really good kicks, knees, elbows. He's pretty much the whole package, isn't he? The only weakness we have seen is his wrestling, and obviously Sterling was able to negate all the good stuff that Sandhagen can do quite quickly. And pushing him up against the fence and get his back and get that choke in. And Edgar has shown decent wrestling in the past. Like, I don't know if you remember the Yair Rodriguez fight. That was a kind of a similar setup, and you had this kind of explosive youngster who was looking really good, and Edgar just came in and put him on his back and battered him. So I do think Edgar has a shot in this fight. I mean, Sandhagen could have an off day. Everybody does have off days. It's only 3 rounds, so while Sandhagen could be, winning the striking for like 3 minutes and landing the better shots, if Edgar's able to take him down and get some top control and ride out, those 2 minutes, he only needs 2 rounds to do that. So when I've looked at this fight, I just think Sandhagen's a little bit too short. Obviously, I wouldn't be backing him on the money line because it's MMA, and he does have that. We have seen that wrestling be exploited before. So I think the Edgar decision, 6.5. I think that's a pretty decent play.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention, so best odds you can get for Sandhagen, sorry, I was bringing out my screen. Best odds you can get for Sandhagen at 1.25, Sky Bet Victor. You can basically get it most places. And Frankie, you can get him at 4.5 on Bet365. And yeah, I'll bring up the method of victory markets now. Where are we? Frankie by decision. Yeah, 6.5.
6.5, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Another thing, I mean, I wanted to point out, like, it's gone now, but you can still get it on the exchanges. But Edgar's got 2 submission victories throughout his career. One was, we talked about it before, against Cub Swanson, was a crank, and also he got a rear naked choke a while ago. I can't remember who it was against, but I think it was towards the start of his career. But he was so you could get him at 21s for submission, even 19s at Paddy Power. Like, I mean, if you just want to have a little fiver or something on it, like, it's just might be worth a little speculator, because maybe that should be a little bit shorter. And adding to that Cory Sandhagen has only 1 loss in the UFC, and he did get caught by, I think it was it a rear naked or a guillotine choke by Sterling?
I think it was a rear naked choke from what I remember. I'm pretty sure it was rear naked choke.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, yeah, maybe like you pointed out, decision or submission victory by Edgar might be worth a play there. The only other thing I thought might be interesting was Sandhagen by finish, because he obviously showed some very impressive stand-up against Marias and also Edgar. I mean, Edgar's obviously, he's always had like a very, very good chin, but it's only declining from here, and he has been caught by a few people in the past couple of years. I'm off the top of my head, Korean Zombie and Ortega. That's his 2 knockout losses. So he can be caught, and obviously Sandhagen's striking seems to be proving by the minute. So I thought it was interesting that I can't really find the market now, but if I just get up, will the fight go? Here it is, double chance. So I think I found 2.7 for Sandhagen by finish. Do you have any? Yeah, you can still get 2.7 on Paddy Power for KO or submission. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, it seems all right. It's just, like you say, Edgar is 39. He's slowing down, and Sandhagen tends to be more of a cumulative puncher. He throws out a lot of volume, and like he stops guys. Well, obviously, he had that spinning wheel kick, didn't he? That he got Marias with. So he's obviously got fancy kicks and knees, so he could catch Edgar. Possibly, it probably seems about right to me. That I think it's more likely he wins by decision, but
yeah, because I guess
I don't know. It's a tough one.
He's never really had, like, you wouldn't say he's got knockout power. Like, you can't go off a spinning wheel kick and say that he's got knockout power, can you? That's just anyone cops one of them and they're gone. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure he does have knockout power. It's just I don't know. I feel like that Edgar's probably going to look to try and close the distance more. So whereas Marias was happy to trade kicks with him. But I don't know, actually, because then Edgar's got his kind of in and out style if he's just going to box up with him. But you'd think that Edgar's going to be trying to implement a wrestling heavy game, so you think those kicks wouldn't be as effective in this fight. So, yeah, like I say, when I've looked at it, it was kind of the Edgar decision line just stood out to me just because we've seen Sandhagen. His weakness is his wrestling. We saw Sterling, and also we've seen other guys have like little bits of success as well from memory. I think a Sun Sao as well had a little bit of success in the grappling department. So for me, that seems like the best bet. But yeah, I mean, if you like Sandhagen and that's the way you want to go, then I wouldn't put you off it. I just don't see a huge amount of value in it.
Yeah, no, I'm tending to agree with you. I just thought that was quite an interesting play, just on the fact that Cory's only going to get better, and if he's able to knock out someone like Marias with something impressive like that, then maybe he's got a few more strikes to his arsenal over time. But yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. Do you see any like movements coming in at the moment? Like, do you think Edgar might shorten or Sandhagen might shorten?
I think it'd be more likely that you'd see some money coming on Frankie Edgar. I mean, just looking at Pinnacle, it looks like he did go up to 4.75 on the 23rd of January, and then he's come in since then. So, all the money's not been on Sandhagen. You'd think recreational money would probably be on Sandhagen just because he had that really good KO. So, I mean, if I was just going to kind of say which one's more likely, I'd say probably Edgar might get backed in a little bit more, but I don't think either one of them will, move too much now.